Caitlin and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book haul for you guys and I'm super excited. I have a bunch of books sitting right here. I have either bought or received, I think it's about 9 or 10 books this past week, and so I'm going to be sharing them with you. I'm also going to be sharing a little bit of story time about how I got them, because I got all of these books used, and all of the 10 books that are sitting right here, I did not pay more than $25 for all of them. And so I'm going to be sharing a little bit. I'm going to do a video in a few weeks, I believe, on where you can find and purchase cheap books and where I buy some of my books, if that is something that y'all be interested in. I'm planning to do that in a few weeks, but I'm not going to really get into that much today, but I'm going to talk a little bit about where I found some of these books and give you guys a little bit of story time about that. So I'm really excited. There is also going to be some pictures from me book shopping when I purchased these books, and then at the end there's also going to be some footage of me reorganizing my bookshelves. I have not yet done that. I'm planning to do that either tonight or possibly tomorrow, because I cannot fit any of these books on my shelf because it is pretty full right now. So I have to rearrange some of the shelves and figure out where I want to put some things and move stuff in order to fit all 10 of these books. And I'll be doing that either tonight or tomorrow, so I'm going to include some footage of me reorganizing my bookshelves at the end. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you enjoy this haul. And without any further ado, let's jump in and get started. Alright, so the first book that I'm going to share with you guys, if you saw my last video, which I posted on Sunday, I believe, Saturday or Sunday, I shared a book unboxing with you guys, and I also shared a surprise, which if you guys watch that video, you'll know that it is a giveaway, which I'm hopefully going to be posting sometime within the next few days. It might already be up by the time that this video goes up, so look out for that. But I shared that unboxing on Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which day, and that was for Adrienne's Guys by Ann Wheeler, which I received in exchange for an honest review. She sent it to me this past week, and I'm really excited to get into it. It has a really beautiful cover, and it sounds super interesting, and I told her that I would do a Goodreads and a YouTube review here on my channel in exchange for the books. So she sent it to me, and I'm really excited. Both of the books have really gorgeous covers, and they sound really good. They are sci-fi books, and if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about this, I will link to my unboxing video below, and I'll share about the giveaway in that video, and I read the back cover blurb, and I talk about this book a little bit, and then I also unboxed it in that video. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will link to that below, and you can go check it out. Alright, and then the next and remaining 9 books are all books that I bought from used bookstores in my town. If y'all don't know, I live in a really small mountain town, and we have quite a few used bookstores here, which I absolutely love, because sometimes you can have nothing in a small town, but we actually have quite a few bookstores, and they're really cute, and you get really good deals, and I got incredible deals on all of these books, and I'm going to share how much I paid for them, and then I'm going to share a little bit about the book. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so one of the 9 books that I picked up was The Hobbit by Jrr Tolkien. Now, this may surprise you. I think I've mentioned this before, but I don't know if I've ever talked about it on my channel, but I love Lord of the Rings, but I have actually never read any of the books. I've only seen the movies. So I kind of pretend like I'm in that fandom, and I talk about it a lot, and I love the movies, and I love the world and the story, but I've never actually read the books. So I decided that I was going to actually read them. And so I picked up The Hobbit, which is like the prequel or the first part of the series. So technically it's not a part of the actual Lord of the Rings series, but this is the prequel, so I thought that I would start with this one. And it is such a cool cover. I have never seen this cover or this edition, and this book is in pretty much perfect condition, but I bought it used, and I only paid $3 for it. And as you can see, it has like a super cool kind of tile cover with different scenes from the book, and it's just a really unique cover. And so I picked this one up because it was a really good deal, and it's a super unique and in good condition book, and I'm really excited to read it. I cannot believe that they made 3 movies out of this, or maybe was it 4 movies, I can't remember, that they made that many movies out of this tiny book. So I'm excited to see how the story follows the movies, because like I said, I have seen all of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies, so I'm excited for this one. Alright, and then 2 books that I got at the same store that I got The Hobbit at was the first and third books in the Harry Potter series, which is The Sorcerer's Stone and The Prisoner of Azkaban. I have seen all the movies, and I read all of these books. I borrowed them from my sister many, many years ago. I think I was in middle school, I believe, and I read them, and I absolutely loved them. I cannot remember that much about the books. I remember pretty much everything about the movies because I've seen them multiple times, but I really wanted to reread these and I wanted to own them because, like I said, I borrowed them from my sister, so I do not own the series, but I really wanted to have it. And so I found these books used and they're in pretty good condition, and I really don't mind buying used books. I think that it's a great way to save money, and also you can tell that some books have just been really loved, and I love that character that a lot of used books have. And I got these books, let's see, I got The Sorcerer's Stone for only $2.50, and then I got The Prisoner of Azkaban for $2. So that is really, really good considering I saw them new at a bookstore, and the paperback versions, each of them was $11, and there's 7 books, so if you do that math, that's quite a pretty penny to pay. And for me, I have difficulties because whenever I've already read books either from the library or I borrowed them, it's really difficult for me to want to buy the whole series, because even if I want to own it, it's difficult for me because I ask myself, is it better to buy a series I've already read or to spend that money buying books I haven't read and, you know, read new books? So it's always difficult. So if I can find them used, if they're books that I wish that I owned that I have already read, then I absolutely will grab them up, and I'm so glad that I found these. I just need to buy the second book and then the rest of the series to complete my collection, but I'm super excited that I found these. And another book that I bought yesterday is called A Lucky Child by Thomas Bergenthal, I believe is how you pronounce it, and this is a memoir of surviving Auschwitz as a young boy. So this is a Holocaust memoir, and if you guys don't know, the Holocaust is my favorite historical time period. I absolutely love reading about World War II and the Holocaust and just that time period and the people who survived and how they experienced that brutality and kept their faith through it, and, you know, kept their hope through a lot of it, and just what they had to go through. And actually this section right here is all Holocaust. I don't know if y'all can see this in the frame, but the whole half of the top shelf is Holocaust and World War II memoirs and historical books, and I just love that time period. So I picked this book up and I paid $1.75 for this book, so I'm super excited to read this one. And again, I just absolutely love this historical time period, so I'm really excited about it. And then I also got another book that was from the World War II Nazi Germany time period, but it's super unique, and I have never heard of a story from the Holocaust time period that covers this topic. And in fact, I didn't even know that this actually happened historically. And that book is Nowhere's Child by Carrie Rosval, I think is how you pronounce her last name. And this book is about a girl who finds out when she is, I believe, 64 years old, she finds out about the truth of her birth and how she was actually born to a Nazi soldier who was told by Hitler, along with a lot of other soldiers. Apparently Hitler told this to his army, that to go and impregnate Scandinavian women in order to create a pure Aryan race. And so the woman who wrote this memoir is talking about how she was one of the children that came out of that, and I did not even know that that was something that historically took place. And so I'm super excited to read this and to see that aspect of the Holocaust, because again, I really love that time period, but I've never read any book like this, so I'm really excited to read it. And I paid, let's see, how much did I pay for this? What did I pay? Oh, $4. I paid $4 for this book, so that's a really good deal, and also it's in pretty good condition. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this and to get that new perspective on the Holocaust and Nazi Germany. And I'm kind of nervous about it because I feel like it's going to be a really honest memoir, but I really love reading memoirs, especially from this historical time period, so I'm super excited as well. Alrighty, then I also picked up Three Came Home, let's see, I don't know who by Agnes Newton Keith. And originally I picked this book up because the cover is so beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't have a dust jacket. This is just embossed straight onto the cover. And then the pages have that like rippled effect that makes it look really old, and it's just a super beautiful cover. And so I picked it up off the shelf because I saw the spine and then I saw the cover and I thought it was really pretty. And it is about a family who was put into the Japanese internment camps during America's war with Japan. And so that is another really interesting time period that I really like reading about. I'm not as interested in that as I am the Holocaust, but it's a close second, and it sounds like a really interesting read. And again, the cover is gorgeous, and I paid $4 for this one as well, so I'm really excited to get into this one. And the next book that I picked up was The Book Thief by Markus Zusak, and I have been wanting to read this forever. I saw the movie, and people have told me that this book will make you cry, and it gives you all of these wonderful emotions, and it's super heartbreaking but also eye-opening, and I've just heard wonderful things about it. I loved the movie, but I'm super excited to read this book, and I have been looking for it used. Well, actually I was going to buy it new, but then I decided not to, and so I was in the bookstore and I was actually sitting down going through all my books trying to figure out what I wanted to keep and what I wanted to put back. And whenever I looked up on the staff picks shelf, this book was there, and I just saw it sitting there and I ran over and I grabbed it, and I only paid $6 for it, which is a little more expensive than the other books that I bought, but I think that it's worth it. You can see that there is some creases on the book, but like I said earlier, that just adds more character to it, and it's the same story on the inside, and so I'm super excited to read this. I know that it's going to be wonderful, and I cannot wait to pick it up. This is another one of those books that takes place during World War II, and so I'm super excited about it. And I didn't really notice how many World War II books I bought yesterday, but as you guys can tell, like I said, that's my favorite time period, and I absolutely love it, so I'm just adding to my collection up here. I'm gonna have like an entire bookcase of Holocaust books eventually, but that's okay because they are super good reads and I never get tired of reading them. Alrighty, then the last two books that I picked up are the ones that I'm the most excited about because they are actually arcs, and before I share a little bit about it, I want to just say, somebody asked me whenever I posted a picture on Twitter, they asked me, I thought that bookstores weren't supposed to sell arcs because at the bookstore that I was at, they were either giving them away for free if you bought another book, or you could pay 50 cents for them. And so somebody asked me, I thought bookstores were not supposed to sell arcs. And so I responded, and I just want to share this up front in case any of you were wondering, I do not condone selling arcs, but I believe that the reason that this bookstore was selling them was because they were just trying to get rid of them. And again, this was a used bookstore, so all of these books are used and they have been donated by people who no longer wanted their arcs. So they are not new releases. They are all 2016 publication dates or earlier, so they're at least 2 years old, so they're not new releases, and it's not really for publicity. I believe this bookstore just was trying to pass them on to somebody who wanted them, so I think that's why they sold them. And again, it was only for 50 cents or free if you bought another book, so it wasn't really to make money. I think they were just trying to pass them on, so that's why I picked them up. And I found 2 arcs there that I'm so excited about because I only paid 50 cents for them, and I've been anticipating reading them, so I'm super excited to read these. The first one is Ever the Hunted by Adrienne Summeril, and again, this is an arc, you can see right there, and it's, this sounds so good, and I believe it's a YA fantasy, right? Yeah, it's a YA fantasy, and again, I paid 50 cents for this, so I'm super excited, and it has a really pretty cover. It's pretty simple, but it's a really beautiful, fantastical looking cover, and it sounds really good, and so I'm super excited to get into this one. Actually, the way that I found this book was I told my mom that I found a little cart of arcs at the bookstore, and I was looking through them, and she said, oh, you know, arcs, I think I saw a shelf that said arcs, and so she kind of pointed me in that direction, and I went over there, and there was an entire bookcase, probably bigger than this whole bookcase behind me, and it had complete top to bottom was full of arcs, and there was a little sign that said arcs for free with purchase of book, or 50 cents if you just bought one on its own. And so I probably squealed for a good 5 minutes in the bookstore because I was so excited. And I do not own any arcs, or I did not own any arcs before I got these, and some people don't like arcs because it's not the finished published product, but I have no problem reading an arc, and I'm so excited that I got these. So as I mentioned earlier, if y'all follow me on Twitter, you probably saw me live tweeting my excitement about these books, but I'm super glad and excited that I got a hold on these, and I cannot wait to read this one, Ever the Hunted. Alright, and then the last book that I picked up yesterday is the one that out of this entire haul I'm the most excited about, and I cannot wait to read it, and I can't believe that I found it, and it is another arc that I only paid 50 cents for. 3 Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, and oh my goodness, guys, I'm so excited. So I have a little story about how I found this one that I want to share with you guys. Like I mentioned earlier, I found a little cart of arcs in the bookstore, and it said any books for free or 50 cents, and so I was looking through them, and some of them were YA, some of them were not arcs, they were just regular books that had been thrown in there that they were trying to sell for 50 cents as well. And so I was looking through, I found a few YA books, but nothing that I really was interested in reading. And then I got down on my knees on the very bottom shelf of the cart, and I was looking through them, and all of the books had fallen over on their faces, and so it was kind of just like one big pile down there. And so I was looking through them and putting them back upright, and I found 3 Dark Crowns at the very bottom of the pile laying face down, and whenever I saw it, I was so excited because I've been anticipating reading this. I've been wanting to read this forever, and I cannot believe that I got it as an arc. And again, because the bookstore was giving them away for free with purchase of another book, I got this for a steal, and I'm super excited about reading it. And again, it's not the published version, but arcs are pretty much the same story, and again, most people, you know, who get arcs in exchange for a review, generally it's the same storyline, but some people do end up buying the published version whenever it comes out, which is why a lot of people give away their arcs used. But I got this book, it is used, but it's in nearly perfect condition. I don't know if you guys can see, it is pretty much in perfect condition, and this was a 2016 release. The second book has already come out, so I'm super excited to read this first one, and again, I'm just excited I got it as an arc because I did not own any arcs, and now I do, and I'm so excited to read this one. Out of this whole haul, this was probably my most anticipated read and my favorite find from yesterday. Alright everybody, so those are all the books that I got in this haul, all the books that I got this week, and I'm super excited to get reading on them. I now have, I think, like 20 something books on my shelf that I need to read, but this year is my goal to read a lot of books. My Goodreads challenge is only 25 books, but I'm hoping that I can surpass that, and so I'm super excited to get into all of these, and I'm so happy that I got them for such a good deal. And again, I'm going to be doing a video in a few weeks about where I purchase books and where you can find some cheap books and some way to get good deals, because books can be really expensive, but I often will buy books new just to support my fellow writers, or if I have an author friend whose book's debuting, then I'll purchase that. And sometimes I will go into a Barnes & Noble and buy a book new, but there's something so amazing about going to a used bookstore and just not knowing what you're going to find, and then finding so many amazing deals and gems in that bookstore. Because going into a used bookstore, there's like books everywhere, on tables, on carts, and you never know what you're going to find. And so that's something that I think is so exciting and just interesting about going to used bookstores, and so I'm super excited that I went yesterday and I got all of these wonderful books. Alright guys, that completes my haul for today. I'm going to now put in the footage of me reorganizing my bookshelves whenever I end up doing that, and I will put that footage in there because I'm going to definitely need to reorganize these to fit all of the books that I just purchased. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching my haul. I will catch you guys next time. Also make sure that you go over and check out my second video that I put up today. I did Kim Chance's Keeper tag, and it is super fun, and y'all should definitely go check it out. She has some amazing questions in there. So yes, there are 2 videos up on my channel today, so make sure that you go and check out that tag of me answering some of the questions, and I'm sharing some really cool bookish facts. Again, the questions for the tag that she came up with are super interesting and unique, and they correlate to her book, but there's some different questions about my favorite books and favorite characters and just cute little things like that. So definitely go check out that video whenever you're finished with this one, and I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye! Alright, I'm about to begin organizing my bookshelves, so let's get started. Guys, my Little House on the Prairie books, I just pulled them off my shelf, and these are so sentimental. You can tell that their bindings are literally taped together. I mean, look, this one's fraying. The Little House in the Big Woods is taped. The spine is taped together. These are just such sentimental books.